that you might find in the vitamin stores or the big box stores. There really is no comparison. It's one of the ones that I have at home and take religiously. April monthly special savings are dramatic, so I'm excited to share that with you. On the largest size, you're saving nearly as much as you're spending. Andrew, it all begins with CoQ10, something that you know, in terms of introducing to America and to the country several years ago, you really set forth on a mission to bring the very best that money could buy.
You must be the master of understatement when you say several years ago. I introduced America to CoQ10 36 years ago.
Seems like yesterday.
Yes, really, it does seem like, to me it seems like yesterday. Now I sound like my parents and grandparents. But it does seem like yesterday, but it was, to my knowledge, long before anyone else. And that's simply because when I started my company, my real goal, we were focused on elite athlete performance, and I was making products for myself because my life was focused on athletics. And CoQ10 is essential for all energy production. So in terms of quality of our life, in terms of optimum functioning of our organs, yes, that's important for all of us, but that's absolutely essential for an athlete, because they're pushing the limits of human performance. What we've now realized, aging healthily, that's all about pushing back the limits of human performance, because as we age, the limits are encroaching on us, so we want to push them back. And that's what CoQ10 does better than any other single ingredient that I've observed, because CoQ10 goes to the very functioning of every system and every organ in our body. If you look at every system in your body, they're all energy dependent. The cells in our body can only function as well as they have adequate energy to do so. So those cells comprise organs, organs comprise systems. So if you want those systems to work at their very best, you need to make sure you're optimizing their ability to produce energy. And there's no better CoQ10 product in the world to potentiate and to optimize that process. Also, as I talked about with glutathione, glutathione is the master protective compound, but CoQ10 is right there with it. And CoQ10 is one of those brilliant designs of Mother Nature that the more you learn about science, many scientists have often said, the more you learn about science, the more you appreciate the brilliance of Mother Nature, the brilliance of the divine blueprint. That I think it was even Albert Einstein or others who said it's not that scientists become atheists, that scientists almost become more religious, because you just see the incredible order and how well everything works. CoQ10, it transports electrons, and that's how it produces energy, because the energy we experience is the energy that comes from the potential of those electrons, the difference in electrical potential. But CoQ10 also plays an incredibly important protective role in our cells. Why? Because our cells can be damaged by electrons, free radicals, and the electrons in those free radicals can damage otherwise stable molecules. What is CoQ10? What is its ability not just to transport electrons to create energy? It also has the ability to capture electrons that might otherwise cause damage. So CoQ10 is one of those, like so many wonderful natural ingredients in our body, natural molecules, that has a multitude of benefits that I could spend hours going over the lists of benefits of CoQ10 alone, because the science is probably only scratching the surface of the benefits it delivers. But even just knowing those two basic benefits, all the energy we require, you require CoQ10 to produce it, and also when we look at our cells, the protective role that CoQ10 plays as well.
Well, we're extremely busy, as we knew we would be. You are getting our monthly special CoQ10 at fantastic pricing. So, you know, as we look after ourselves, this is something that I certainly recommend for the far-reaching benefits. And Andrew, there's some reviews out here. I'll read just a couple of them if I may, because this is testament to how good it is.
Just for 1 second before we read the reviews, Adam, I just want to say that there's been a change in CoQ10. I talked about this in October, but the price of CoQ10 has gone up almost 500% since October.
Oh, wow.
And this monthly special price might end up being better than at the end of the year our today's special price. We always do a today's special at the end of the year for CoQ10. I'm hoping it won't be, but the way things have been with CoQ10, it's just been a crazy world. So this is great pricing you get to enjoy now. Hopefully, The pricing will be better for the Today Special at the end of the year, but I'm not sure it will. And I'm not even sure we'll have enough supply for that, but I'm hoping we will.
Well, that's why I think folks are jumping all over it. Again, we have our 4 different sizes available. Most people going for the larger sizes, which is the better value, but we're still under $100 for the 240 caps. I mean, a really great opportunity. You know, we've got over 3,000 reviews. Here is just 3 of them. You're more than welcome to read more online, and I encourage you to do so. Top of the line ingredients. With so many CoQ10 products on the market, this is the finest ingredients that doesn't upset your stomach and boost your energy. I'm a customer for life. Thank you, Andrew, for educating us and bringing the finest products available to HSN. I swear by this supplement. I take this supplement every day and have my elderly mother taking it as well. My mother is on cardiac medication, so I make sure to buy this whenever it is available as a monthly special or today's special. Wonderful supplement if you're feeling sluggish and lethargic. And finally, very happy with this product, says Sandy. My husband and I have been using Andrew's Coenzyme Q10 for about 8+ years. It is the best. We will never be without them. A Feel the Difference products. We are 64 and 68, and we take this for circulatory and cardio health. Thank you, Andrew. There's a lot of different things mentioned, Andrew, in the reviews. I said far and wide-reaching benefits. It seems to affect all of us in so many different ways.
And what's important to note that with many medications, the top side effect is fatigue, a lack of energy. And what's interesting, of course, CoQ10 is necessary for the production of energy. And there are so many medications and drugs that adversely affect, that limit CoQ10 synthesis in your body. As it is, aging limits it enough. We have to contend with that, and that's why fatigue is one of the most basic things we all experience as we get older. But medications like statin drug, cholesterol-lowering drugs, medications like antihypertensives, which are medications for high blood pressure, medications for depression, medications for osteoporosis, bisphosphonates. These medications affect the ability of your body to make what little CoQ10 it can make, and in so doing impacts your body's ability to produce energy and also to protect itself. So again, CoQ10, just the way we live, tends to deprive our body of the CoQ10 it needs, whether it's stress, whether it's aging, whether it's our diet, whether it's health issues. So CoQ10 is incredibly important for all of us as we age and for all of us